ACEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for tuning to another segment of INCRadio New York. My name is Brother Lance Marinas, your host for today's episode. And with me on today, who will be joining us shortly is Sister Mika Jamawas. And we will be talking about building self awareness. But before we do get started, please don't forget to leave your comments and greeting in the YouTube live box so that you can mention your greetings, or if you have a special shout out, you can all the more do so. If there are any birthdays you would like to shout out, you can all the more do so in the YouTube live chat so that we can read them later on. And all the more, don't forget the hashtag challenge, and we will see who will be the victorious congregation for this week and who will emerge as the hashtag challenge winner. But before we do get started, for our live chat viewers and our live chat listeners, our live viewers here on YouTube, fill our YouTube live chat with the answer to the question of the day. What is your definition of self awareness? And we'll read them throughout the show. Uh, and and again, the question of the day is, what is your definition of self-awareness? And we'll read them throughout the show. And for the today's weather here in Rochester, it is a little cloudy. It's getting towards the summer weather. We're getting a little warmer, and I believe we're kind of swinging towards the spring weather now. The winter has passed so far. So far, it's been cold the last 2 days, but we are getting back in the temperature in the mid 50s. So that is something to look forward to also. And in terms of the upcoming activities, there will be multiple different CFO activities. And today there will be a Kadiwa officer seminar in, I believe, in Palisades, which is near the local congregation of Rockland, New York. So again, for those who are in there, now please don't forget to attend. And also, Sister Mika will be reporting later about this. And on March 31st, there will be Band Together. They will be band together. So this is another exciting activities to look forward to at the end of the year, at the end of the month on March 31st. So let's all the more look forward to this. And but before we do get into our main topic, we will take a quick station break. Kuya Tech, if you can segue us to the station break, po.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
How many different ways can we say how are you? Kumusta ka?
你好吗？你好吗？
¿Cómo estás?
お元気ですか？
This Sunday, March 3, our very own Sister Margaret Ip will share the importance of learning a secondary language or dialect. Join us from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Philippine Standard Time, only at INCRadio Hong Kong Satellite Studio, your Sunday lunch date.
Being active in fulfilling their duties defies age and time, as the Children's Worship Service members in the Ecclesiastical District of Macau participated ardently in various church endeavors. Find out how the young brethren prove their unity with the church administration and their high recognition to the God Almighty, only here in INCRadio Macau Satellite Studio, this Sunday, March 3, 2024, at 9 p.m. Chinese Standard Time at Philippine Time. See you there!
And welcome back to INCRadio New York, where we're talking about the self-awareness or building self-awareness. And for our main topic, self awareness is the ability to recognize and understand one's own thoughts, feelings, and behavior. This is important for one's personal growth. And today we will learn about self awareness and how we develop it and its benefits. And again, please don't forget to leave your comments and greeting in the YouTube live chat so that we can read them on throughout the show. And again, don't forget to also do the hashtag challenge so that you can see which local congregation will come out as winners for today's episode. And as we can see, Woodbury is winning so far, and I see a lot of Woodside also. So for the other local congregation, please don't forget to do your hashtag challenge so that we can all the more be in the top three for the next coming weeks. So, what is self awareness for our lovely listeners and viewers? It is understanding one's own thoughts, feelings, values, beliefs, and action. Understand who you are, what you want, and how you feel, and why you do things that you do. Uh, it's all the more the things that we wanted to do and self-awareness. We want to be able to understand our own thoughts and feelings because this is very valuable, brothers and sisters, us to understand our own feelings so that we can focus on what to improve. And also being self-aware is ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, and emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. So being self-aware is also making sure your actions and thoughts do align with your self standards because we do have our own standards, brother, for our listeners, and we all have certain standards we want to focus on, and we want to continue to improve on this because we don't want it to be stagnant. We don't want just to remain in the same spot all the time. So we can continue to improve ourselves. And as we know, we're entering a new year again. It's 2024 now, so it's a good time to keep our self awareness and a good time to focus on ourselves. Also, although we have already done our New Year's resolution, is also not the time to stop in improving in ourselves. And those who are self aware can interpret their actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. So we have to also not only know ourselves, we also have to interpret the actions that we do make and feelings and thoughts that we do have so that we can continue to improve it. Once again, self awareness is being able to really see the whole pictures about yourself and about what you are doing at the same time, especially your emotions nowadays. As we can see, we can easily be tracked or we can easily be segued by the many things that's happening in the world and the many news as the many calamities continues to come. It's easy for us to get busy with this and to get distracted with how we are feeling. And also with the mass social media that nowadays, it's also easy to get trapped into comparing ourselves with others. So being self-aware of our actions is very important. So let's all the more do this. These are good tips. And if you have any more tips on how to be, on what ways you can do for to have to recognize your self-awareness, please don't forget to leave them in the YouTube live chat. And again, the question of the day is, what is your definition of self awareness? So, for those who are listening in, please don't forget to leave your comments in the YouTube live chat so that we can read them throughout the show. Then, other things. What are some things you do to develop your self awareness? Create space and time. Uh, One thing is visualize the best version of yourself. Again, visualizing ourselves, what is the best way we can reach perfection, or what's the best way we can reach a perfect fate. Also, that's also very important in reaching visualizing our version of ourselves. Self knowledge, understand who you are, your beliefs and values and motivation. And oh, there's Sister Mika. Hi, Timix. What is happening there? Before I continue on and plow through this main topic.
Hi, Brother Lance. I am currently in a District Kadiwa activity called Kadiwa Officers Seminar. I am joined here by the Kadiwa officers in the District of New York. We're currently doing our icebreaker. Wait, let me just show you really quickly what they're doing at the moment.
Ooh.
There you go.
What is the icebreaker, Sister Meeks?
It's like a lineup. They're lining each other up without speaking to each other.
Are they
See how
becoming
great
self-aware?
communicators are.
Are they becoming self-aware, Meeks?
Yes, communication, right? Communication is good. And we have to be always self-aware when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's very. What is the what do you call this? What other things are to be tackled in the Kadio Officer Seminar today? I know there is improvement or ways to improve as Kadio officers, but what other things are they gonna focus on? So the listeners who are not there can also maybe attend the next ones because I'm sure there's another Kadio Officer Seminar coming in the next one.
Yes, definitely. We're going to be talking about, um, different ways we can reach out to our brothers and sisters when it comes to activities. Also, going to be talking about how to be, yeah, like you said, how to be better officers, better communicators as well, and better leaders in general. So it's things that we can just it's things that we don't just use as being Kiddo officers, but as like regular people.
Yes, that's very correct. And now back to our main topic, being self-aware. Second portion is practice mindfulness, being present in the moment and pay attention to yourself and your surrounding. That then getting lost in your own thoughts. So being present again. Nowadays, you get so lost in social media, you get caught up in trying to one up the next person, or you feel like you need to one up the next person. Not that you should. I should all the more focus on ourselves as we are saying here. We should all the more focus on improving in ourselves, but being present in the moment because we're so busy in looking in our phones that we don't really see what's on the outside anymore, or we don't. Especially when we take family vacations or when we take the vacation, we're so present in posting about what we are doing that we don't appreciate what's in the surrounding anymore. So maybe taking a time off from your phone and just being in the present moment and really just absorbing it. If you want to take pictures, that's okay. It's also good for your memories, but also don't make it a habit that you, in every step of the way, you take pictures that you don't enjoy anymore. The vacation that you are taking, but some people do like to take pictures.
So I also think that like we're always so very busy that we get into a habit of just going through the motions and not like thinking of what we're doing anymore because it's kind of just second nature or like muscle memory to us. But we also have to make sure to take time to really be cognizant about what we do, the decisions that we make. Um, this way, we're not just existing, right? Existing is very different from living, right?
That's very deep.
So, yes. Oh no,
But yeah,
did I cut off?
no, no, no. Yeah, I hear that. As I just said, it's very deep, Sister Mix. But yeah, that's very true, I think, Mix. Especially if you're going to work every day, let's say your 9 to 5 job, you take the same road every day, you do the same routine, you wake up, let's say maybe 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, or if you're like a person who likes to be late, you probably wake up 30 minutes before your work. Then you drink your cup of coffee if you're a coffee drinker or tea, whatever, or you eat your breakfast and you go drive the same route every day, and you get so your day-to-day things tends to be so monotony. So it's good to be really self-aware and practice mindfulness. Others way we can break this monotony is maybe going to work, take another route that you don't usually take, so that or leave extra early or change your breakfast menu, those things, or maybe change your routine, maybe do certain things ahead than others, and also like leaving after work, you also take the same route again. So changing just a couple things in a routine may be helpful and to remove the monotony and to just introduce new things to our lives, and maybe taking sightseeing once we take a break from work, or walking around new places after work is also a good way to practice mindfulness. Journal your awareness. So it's also good to keep journal of your how you are doing in your self awareness. Allows you to keep tracks of your feelings and recognize pattern. Then can help you be on a better person. So journaling, writing about your day to day life, it's also a good way to practice self awareness. You can tell, or you can see how you are improving slowly, or if you have goals, it's also a good way to keep a journal of that and see how you are progressing in your goals. And this is a way for us to be self-aware. And doing journal also allows you to identify and clarify and accept your thoughts and own feelings. It's a very big thing. Sometimes we tend to just shrug off our own feelings and just move on with things. It's also very good to be aware with their own feelings and know how to react to them, and not just kind of cover them up, so that we can continue on with things that we want to do. It's also very good that we tackle those feelings so that we can improve on them, and all the more, if anything, remove those kinds of feelings, especially if it's negative thoughts. We want to have more positive thoughts, but at the same time, it's also uh, very, very, be very mindful of what you're doing in terms of your emotions and feelings. And another point of helping you in making journal or keeping a journal for your self awareness is you can help discover what you want, what your values, and what works for you. So keep writing these things. It really helps you to emphasize on what you want in life. Let's say writing your own goals. You know what you want to do in the future, and how are you achieving this? What value? What things do you look forward to in other people, and what you value most in your life, and what works for you in terms of everyday, day to day things. Do you keep a journal, Atimix?
I used to actually, it really helps me sort out my emotions. When I was younger, I had a lot of emotions. I still do. I just don't have time right now. But I should. I've been told by my therapist that I need to journal because, like you said, it helps you sort out the things that have happened in your day. You can look back and see how much you've progressed and what you've done. It's definitely a key to be aware of what you're doing, of how you feel or how you felt. This way, if there's anything that you want to change, then you can identify right away, uh, using that journal, all of that information. Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you keep a journal, Brother Les?
I used to when I was a child at some point. Yeah, it's good to keep a diary. You never know what you did, especially me. I tend to forget things lately, so it's good to keep a journal. Maybe look back on what you did 10 years ago. Now that you have social media, I kind of like bring up what you did this day or that day, or what you posted. But doing journal really allows you to look back. If especially if you keep a yearly to year journal, that's a good way to also. And maybe you can write a book after this. You can write an autobiography if you keep a journal. Maybe this is your next fortune. Keep a journal, make an autobiography. That's a good way to sell books also, and maybe inspire others also. If you have autobiography, this autobiography can be very inspiring. And lastly, for some things to develop our self awareness is gain a different perspective. Get a perspective on how you behave and come off in certain situation. It can help us bring into awareness some things that we didn't see, especially when we encounter certain persons or certain personality in our day-to-day life, especially, or like if we're already overwork or overstressed, we tend to behave. Something can trigger our emotions, and if something triggers our emotion, we tend to behave differently. Or like if we're ordering food and the food doesn't come out at the right time, we tend to uh, get mad and get angry at the other person who are taking our order. So it's not good to do that. We should always be nice to other people, but also getting the perspective on how we behave on day-to-day things is really very important, so that we can be really self-aware. And lastly, what are the benefits of having self-awareness? One is help us become a better decision maker. So when you are self-aware, you know your values, you know what actions you want to make, you know your own thoughts and feelings. So when we know all those things, we can decide on things easier because we have certain values that we adhere to, or we have certain standards that we adhere to, and it's easier for us to judge whether this choice will make an impact or not to our lives, and or would it make an impact to your future or your present self. So it really gives us a better decision making because we know what we want right ahead, and we can say yes or no to certain things depending on what we're really looking forward to. More self confidence. So being self aware really does boost our self confidence because you know what you want. This is very key thing is knowing what you want. It's like if you get asked on what food you want to eat. If you don't know what you want to eat, then you're dilly dallying on how to go on which restaurant to choose from. But if you know which food you want, then you know which restaurant you can decide on. So that's a good way to be self-aware. Able to communicate with clarity and intention. Again, being self-aware allows us to develop our own feelings, allow us to develop our own standard. And when we do have these standards, we're able to communicate what we really want to the other person and what intention we want to make. Another one is allow us to understand things from multiple perspectives. So being self-aware, we're able to see all the things in our surroundings. We're all, as you can say, we are present. We are, as we mentioned, being present in the moment is very key. And so when we are being present in the moment, we're able to see everything with 2020 vision, as they say, since we're able to gain all aspects of life and we're able to see all of that. So multiple perspectives builds better relationship. When we are self-aware, we know our emotions once again, and we can build better relationships with others. Are there other tips you have, Sister Meeks, about benefits of self-awareness before I move on to the last three? And since we are coming to a close,
I think you've said it all, Brother Lance.
yeah, yeah. Self awareness is really key nowadays. Better ability to regulate regular our emotion, regulate our emotions. Regulating our emotions is very key, especially with everything that's happening nowadays in the world. We really need to really focus on regulating our emotions and knowing how to react properly in a calm manner. And reacting in a calm manner makes us better in terms of deciding or making decisions because we know we are in the right space of mind and we're not just solely focusing on emotion of anger or acting up on our anger or stress or whatever it is. But being able to decide calmly is also a good way to be able to talk to other people. And also, it'll allow us to decrease our stress. And lastly, having self awareness makes us happier. So those are the tips and ways to improve on or how to develop our self-awareness in this present time that we do have. So if you have more tips, let us know in the comment before we do end so that we can read them on at the end of our show. And I think this brings us to the close of our show, Sister Meeks. Is there any other things you want to mention, Ate Meeks? Nothing anymore? No comments, greetings, no shout outs? There's no birthdays coming up? There's one? Go ahead. No? No? Okay. I think we'll come to a close. So, for those our listeners and live viewers, thank you again for tuning in and listening to another portion of INCRadio. Again, thank you so much to our church administration for giving us a platform to share and speak about important topics like this. And again, don't forget to catch us again next Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 11:30 p.m. Philippine time, and also a greeting to our district staff, station manager, executive producer, and main studio staff, especially to our District Minister, Brother Sheridan Santos, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Neil Patrick Almeda, and our CFO Advisor, Brother Ivan Diaz. And this brings us to the end of our show today. Have a good day, good morning, and good evening, everyone. Thank you again. Be self aware. And wash your hands, people. Everybody's getting sick.
Nakikinig kayo sa Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng